You are working for a new Office of Sport and Community Development in a Midwestern city of 1 million people. As the new director begins to outline a 5-year plan, she asks you to list all of the ways that the federal, state, and local governments are involved in sports in the city, especially in terms of funding. Identify all the possibilities that you will check out as you begin the project.
Federal government has the least amount of direct involvement in sports. The most common involvement is interpretation and development of laws. An example of this would be adjusting tax codes. Recently, tax laws and codes have been modified to ensure that potential business enterprises and negotiations are still partially tax deductible, but they also limit the amount of spending allowed on luxury or box seats at sporting events as opposed to regular stadium seating. This allows less money to be deducted from companies' taxes that they have to pay, and in turn gives more money back to the federal, state, or local government. Another example would be creating laws that ban animal sports such as dogfighting and protect the well-being of animals involved in sports such as horse racing, dog racing, and fox hunting. Animals have been involved in sports in many ways throughout history, but federal laws have been put in place to make sure that the safety of the animals as well as the people involved is the top priority. For example, there are federal laws that ban dogfighting and bullfighting to guarantee the safety of these animals and prohibit the illegal financial gains people may receive from betting on such events. Also, animals involved in racing such as horses and greyhound dogs are protected by federal laws from being overworked, abused, and neglected. A final example would be interpreting tax laws to benefit big companies and sports teams. Lastly, federal tax laws have been interpreted in various ways to benefit both collegiate and professional sports teams and organizations. For example, profit-making college sports such as Alabama's college football team or UNC's Division I men's basketball program draw in a large portion of revenue for the area, and they are legally defined as nonprofit educational programs. For pro sports team owners or players, they benefit from the organizations claiming nonprofit status. This allows these individuals to be paid large salaries and bonuses while also still allowing for additional revenue to funnel into the local economy. State government is involved in sports in two major ways. The most important is making financial decisions that influence when, where, and how a sport facility will be located and used. The other is enforcing laws that involve sports. When a sports organization wants to develop an area of a city into a sports stadium or complex, there are many financial decisions to be made. One major decision would be to apply and gain access to state funding. The state will finance projects to develop the area in hope that it will grow the local and state economies. A site must be approved for development. Also, the state government will have to approve who uses it, whether it's for the local community, in schools, or professional teams and organizations. The state government also will set a time frame for the construction process. State governments will also enforce state laws that affect sports, such as building codes for facilities.
Local government has the greatest role when it comes to sports. They decide when and where certain sports can occur. They govern public spaces such as parks and rec centers and police public areas during large events, which is referred to as safeguarding the public order. Deciding when and where certain sports can occur is a big job for local governments. They have rules in place for safety to protect spectators and participants. For example, if a sporting facility can only hold 500 people and 600 tickets are sold, the local government has the authority to change the location or cancel the event altogether. Policing public areas during large events is very important for local governments. They are supplying the manpower to keep these areas safe during large sporting events. For example, in New York City, there are many local police officers who are in charge of controlling the public during the New York City Marathon. Policing the area is also important for keeping the athletes safe. At professional and collegiate football games, athletes are escorted out of the arena and stadiums to ensure their safety. For our 5-year plan, we intend to bring in a AA minor league baseball team. For this project, we will be building a new stadium and practice facility which will be available for recreational use as well.
These facilities will be funded by the state and local taxpayers. For this reason, we will look into all 3 levels of government. For a Midwestern city with a population of 1 million, local and state government will have the largest impact throughout this project. This is because of the roles we explained throughout this video. Even though many people say politics have no place in sports, governments play a key role in sponsoring and regulating sports.